All, all right. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you like today for AutoMates Black Friday Cyber Monday event. So today we seriously prepared a jam-packed session for you, and I won't just keep you for too long before Chris from Gorgias starts his presentation. But I would like to briefly introduce all the nice folks joining us today from all the category leading vendors in the Shopify partnership space. So we will, like I said, start with Chris from Gorgias, who sort of like the company which sort of owns customer support, in my point of view, in Shopify space and in the wider region. So he will be actually talking through personalized customer experiences for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Then we will have Valentin from Omniconvert, who will be grabbing your attention around the idea of doing way more than you could have otherwise done with your existing clients. Then I will be with you. Sorry, before me, George from Omnisend will be here basically to cover something actionable, and he will be sharing holiday tips for you to know to drive Black Friday, Cyber Monday email sales. And after that, I will be myself on stage telling you how you can use dynamic pricing throughout this holiday season. And last but not least, we will have Karley from ShipBob, who will be maybe covering one of the most hottest discussion items of today. So she will be actually covering 7 biggest holiday fulfillment mistakes, because fulfillment is, needless to say, one of the hottest areas of today, because of the shortage economy we are going through and all that. But without really further introduction, further information about the session, I am now leaving the stage to Chris. So Chris, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Burc?
I'm doing fine as well. So it's a pleasure for us to have you back again on AutoMates session, AutoMates stage. I think we have done this previously, for the first time a couple of months ago, and the crew there was amazing. Attendees really enjoyed the event, so they literally begged us to maybe do something for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So here we are. So we are again starting with you. So please go ahead. Feel free to share your screen, make your introduction, and the stage is yours.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks again, Burc, for putting on a great event. Hope your audience isn't getting sick of me now. I think this is my 3rd time presenting with you guys. So really excited. I love the initiative. I think the whole idea of AutoMates and automation is so timely, as brands at every stage in their growth are looking to find ways to automate, whether it's shipping and fulfillment, customer support, even things like payroll, in your hiring process, right? We can all benefit from a level of automation. So this is a really important theme that we're happy to participate in. So today I'll be walking you through, how you can start thinking about monetizing customer support and customer engagement. And then we'll also focus a little bit on retention and CSAT, because you're going to spend a lot of money trying to acquire customers. You're going to have an influx of customers for BFCM and holiday season, but you don't want to lose all of those hard-earned customers, certainly after the holidays. And that commonly happens. And so I'll be presenting through the lens of, pre-purchase. Let's get as much acquisition as possible, but let's also not forget about everything that happens after that and keeping those customers happy. So a quick intro for myself. My name is Chris, and I run tech partnerships at Gorgias, which is an e-commerce help desk solution built to power all of the customer engagement that you might have, both pre and post-purchase for your consumers. And so we work primarily with Shopify and Shopify Plus brands, but we work with a host of other e-commerce D2C brands that are built on other e-com platforms as well. Cool. All right, we're just going to jump right into it. So the layout of this talk will be setting the stage on just how important customer support and experience is. I'll give a quick overview of what are the biggest challenges that brands are facing today, and then I'm going to jump in with 4 major tips that I'll leave with brands today on how you can start thinking about preparing for BFCM, and then obviously right after BFCM in the holiday season to keep those customers. So on this slide, we're just kind of summarizing where things stand with respect to where customer engagement and experience fits within a typical stack for a modern D2C brand. And so what we're finding is brands are starting to shift away from this mindset that, okay, customer support is this sinkhole, this cost center. It's really costly to staff a large support team, whether it's 5, 10, 20 plus support agents. Maybe you're outsourcing perhaps to the Philippines. It's a cumbersome process to hire and then perhaps lay off a lot of employees after the holiday season. And so that's not great for a business. And it's obviously not great for the people who are potentially getting laid off. And it's certainly not a good experience for your customers who might be overwhelmed and have a disjointed, poor customer experience. And so brands are starting to realize more and more quickly that, look, we need to start thinking about customer support and engagement earlier on in our growth cycle. So not, well before you even hit 1 million in sales, you should start thinking about having a robust tool in place. And so we have a few key data points here that really illustrate just how important customer experience is within that stack. And I won't go over each of the individual data points specifically, but the two key ingredients that you can take away that are important for stellar customer experience that you can deliver to your customers in modern day is speed and automation, which is obviously speaks to this whole event. So how fast can you actually get information back to both potential customers pre-purchase, but also to existing customers post-purchase? That is one of the most important metrics that you should be assessing and analyzing today. And then the other piece to this is personalization. So we all have tremendous data on our customers, at least you should, and you should be managing that in an effective way. And so how personalized of an experience are you giving a customer? You should make them feel like you know who they are. And when you're talking to them, you already have all the data. So you don't have to waste a lot of time asking things like, who are you? What order are you speaking about? Where are you located? You should already be having this information and just getting to the heart of the issue as opposed to wasting time asking questions. So speed and personalization are the two key ingredients that every brand should be thinking about. So to give you a state of address of where things stand today for most D2C brands, suffice to say, buyers, consumers themselves are becoming more and more frustrated. You can picture, when you used to go to the mall often, maybe you go to a big retail store and you go to the customer service, kiosk, and you see a huge lineup, right? That's super frustrating. The same thing is starting to happen, but virtually. As brands are experiencing explosive growth, which means it's really difficult actually to keep up with your customer support volume, right? So the three things that I'm highlighting here are a key metric like response time. So how long does it actually take to respond to a customer's inquiry? Doesn't mean you solve the problem, but it just means you at least acknowledge their inquiry. Those response times are going through the roof for brands across the globe, which obviously leads to a poor customer experience for your consumers, but it also means you're probably gonna have to staff up big time on your agent team, which is really expensive as well. The lack of personalization that brands are missing out on because they're not integrating their data across their platforms. They're not leveraging the data when they're speaking to customers. This leads to both huge sales opportunities, but also poor customer satisfaction as well. And then again, because you're not leveraging all of your data, you're really not upselling, for instance. And so if I'm talking to a customer inside of Gorgias, and I'll show you this later on, I basically have all the information I could possibly need. I know what their purchasing habits and behavior is. And it's really easy to find an opportunity to upsell. And so because you're not leveraging data and the personalization side of things, it's really going to lead to missed opportunities and poor CSAT. And as it says here, look, this is all these problems I've highlighted: slow response times, not leveraging personalization, and not using data effectively. These are problems that brands suffer from all times of the year, but this is especially true at this time of the year as you're just trying to keep your head above water, right? And so, basically, you probably started planning for BFCM over a month ago. There's still definitely time with basically a month from today, actually. And so we're going to go over next about how you can start thinking about getting set up. And so I'll start introducing Gorgias. And so I've highlighted some problems. Who Gorgias is we're the most utilized help desk built for e-commerce brands. We're powering over 7,500 D2C brands across the globe today. And one of my favorite points here is that over 20,000 support agents themselves are actually inside of Gorgias for those brands, powering the customer experience for their consumers every day. And that number is growing fast. And this is just one slide to kind of show you a 30,000 foot view of what we do, and then I'll dive deep in the coming slides. And so the best way to think about us is we're an omni-channel e-commerce help desk solution, meaning any potential avenue that you're going to communicate with your customers, we're going to pull those channels in and put all the customer data on display. So if I'm an agent, it doesn't matter if I'm talking to a customer through the phone, through live chat, email, SMS, or any of the social media channels like Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. It doesn't matter. The conversation is still going to look the same, basically like an email thread. And I'm going to have all the customer information available to me, which makes it really easy to service this mission of ours, which is to deliver that exceptional experience. This is both capable manually through agent-powered experiences, but we also have a heavy dose of automation through our AI and machine learning baked in there as well. All right, and so how we go about doing this, really the three key steps to what Gorgias is and what we do is, look, we personalize conversations by giving agents all the information they could possibly need to answer fast. We automate as much as possible. Certainly the most cumbersome, most repetitive questions like where's my order, which frees up bandwidth for your support agents to then start focusing more on pre-purchase opportunities, which allows you to monetize those interactions, right? So these are really the three key steps. And so now we'll jump into the heart of the talk, which is around 4 major tips for you to start thinking about. And I should say at the upfront, these, I'll be showcasing some Gorgias features as I'm explaining these tips, but whether you're using Gorgias or not, or if you have a custom solution, these tips will still apply to you. So whatever your setup is on the CS side of things, these are things you should absolutely be thinking about. I see a quick question there by Mario. WhatsApp integration is actually coming in December. So that's going to be huge. We know as we go more international and expand, we know how important WhatsApp is. And so that's definitely something that will be coming soon, which will be huge. All right, so tip number 1, this is really important. So understanding your support volume and then turning support agents into sales agents. And so what I'm showing on this slide is a typical breakdown of a modern direct-to-consumer brand's support volume. So meaning of all the inquiries you get, whether it's 100 a month, 1,000 a month, 10,000, or even 100,000 a month, which some enterprise brands do, what is the breakdown of those inquiries that you're getting? And you can see the distribution here. So 1/3 of your entire support volume is strictly related to order status. So these are classic, where is my order, Wizmo questions. You can see the other breakdown here. We'll focus on this one. So the order status. So this obviously takes up the most amount of your space, but it actually should be the easiest to answer, certainly if you start leveraging automation tools, right? And the problem is when you're not set up with a mature product like Gorgias or another solution, you're spending so much time manually answering these questions by, say, going into your Shopify account, going into your Amazon account, and pulling the information up by searching the customer, copying the information, and then emailing them directly. Like that's just not scalable. And brands are finding earlier on, like, wow, like even, you start doing $10,000 in sales a month, even you're starting to find that this is actually quite difficult to handle. And so the big takeaway here is, look, you shouldn't be answering these questions manually. And again, I'll show you a quick way that we solve this. If you're not using Gorgias, that's fine. You should definitely find some way to do this. And the tip here is, look, 30 to 40% of your volume is strictly related to order status. So why not give customers the opportunity to get that answer themselves without you being involved in the first place? And the way we achieve that is through our self-serve widget or portal that shows up. So if you go to, for instance, hellotushy.com, which is one of our customers, they sell great bidets. If you go to their website, on the bottom right of the screen, the first thing that you'll engage with is this little button. And when you pull it up, it'll prompt you to say, okay, you can track, return, cancel, or report an issue with an order simply by putting in your email or your SMS number. And it will pull up all the most recent orders that you have. You can select any of them. You can request a turn, you can cancel, or you can simply just get the most up-to-date tracking, which again is pulled through our deep integrations with, say, Shopify and Amazon, for instance, right? So the key here is that you're now, instead of having your agents take on the brunt of handling this 30 to 40% of your volume, which can be quite meaningful, now you're giving the power to the customers to get the answers themselves. And this has 2 massive benefits. One, you're not having to actually handle the support volume yourselves. So you're basically like offloading and deflecting the work entirely, which is huge. But now as a consumer, I love this experience because now I don't have to talk to an agent. I don't have to engage with a bot. I simply just put in some information and I get all the information I need instantly, right? And so this is an amazing way to deflect a high percentage of your volume and boost customer satisfaction scores. And so if customers have this ability, they know that, like, look, if I can keep shopping with this store, I know that I'm not going to have any problems because I can get the information myself. So this is massive. And so let's take a look now what happens if you do deflect and automate that big chunk of your support volume, which is that order status. Now we start to see some of these smaller percentage ones, which you might have overlooked in the past, such as product availability, product suggestion, product question, pre-order question. Well, if you actually think about these aren't post-purchase support inquiries. These are actually pre-purchase opportunities that are being disguised and masked within your post-purchase inquiries, right? And because most brands are typically swallowed up by focusing on their order status, they're missing out on these important percentage points here, which are pre-purchase sales opportunities. And typically for brands, this is anywhere between 10 to 15% of your support volume is actually pre-purchase, right? And so as I highlight here, as you start getting to 1,000, 10,000, even 25,000 tickets, which are just customer support questions per month, this adds up to a huge potential revenue opportunity for you. And so the key takeaway here is, look, focus less on these frequently asked questions such as Wizmo, and then free up bandwidth for your support team to put their sales hat on and focus on these pre-purchase opportunities, right? And so this is massive. All right, tip number 2, figure out where you need speed and automation most. So this is related to the last question. And so if I go back, analyzing for you, like, what does your customer support volume breakdown look like? Obviously, order status is something that we can all benefit from automation, but what other types of questions and inquiries could we benefit from speed and automation? And so that's really the big tip here. Certainly, if you've been in business for a number of years, and certainly if you've been using Gorgias for a number of years, it's really powerful. So we're working with our brands right now to say, hey, look, let's look back at last year's BFCM season and see where you struggle, right? It looks like you had a ton of product questions, meaning you probably didn't have clear enough descriptions on your product, like your PDP pages, right? So now this upcoming BFCM, because we know you struggled last year with a lot of questions where people didn't really understand your products, let's make sure that we really jazz up your product descriptions this year, make it even clearer, so you can minimize those responses. So analyzing historical data is so meaningful. I know most brands understand that, but it's really important. So in the context of this situation, understanding where you can apply speed and automation is critical. One of the most important metrics that I can't stress enough that brands think about, certainly at this time of the year, is response time. And so in the support world, there's 2 main numbers that we track. There's response time, as I said earlier, how long does it actually take for me to acknowledge your existence, essentially the first point of contact. And then there's resolution time. How long does it actually take to solve the problem? We actually found that response time is much, much more influential in terms of conversion rates and customer satisfaction and retention, because you're actually acknowledging the fact that this customer exists, right? So this is the number you want to focus on. Most direct-to-consumer brands do anywhere between 12 to 24-hour first response time. And so what we're doing at Gorgias is we're gamifying this, and we're saying, hey, all right, let's lump our 7,500 plus customers into these 5 categories, based largely in part to the response time. And we're trying to do as much as we can to get all of our customers towards this level 5 exceptional status, which is the sub 10-minute response time, which is what we call the Amazon gold standard. Say what you want about Amazon, but if you ever have a support inquiry with Amazon, you're going to get an answer lightning quick, right? And so this is where we're trying to get customers. Transparently, only 5% of our entire customer base is actually level 5, right? Which gets us excited because there's a huge opportunity and challenge ahead to get more of our customers towards this piece. And then just to highlight even more why this is important, we see repeatedly that in a pre-sale, so a pre-purchase opportunity when there's a potential sale, if you respond to an inquiry via live chat or SMS, for instance, or email in under 10 minutes, conversion rates go from, say, 2 to 7%, which is industry standard, all the way up to 28 to 35%. So customers, if they're engaging with you, certainly on your website through live chat or SMS, we all know if I'm going to interact with a brand through any of these channels, I have a high purchasing intent. I'm not just here to chat with you because I want to make a friend. I'm there to make a purchase. So if you don't answer fast, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to go on Instagram. I'm going to switch apps. So you need to respond fast. I can't stress that enough. And so, okay, I'm telling you that this is the goal, but how do we actually solve it from Gorgias's perspective? And there's 3 main levers that we're using within our product to achieve this. So I mentioned live chat. So we have a really powerful live chat. It's integrated perfectly with Shopify and other tools that you might be using. Most brands will do 24/5, so 5 days a week, but we have a lot more brands going 24/7, certainly as they start to expand internationally themselves to cater to a global audience. And so this is a really powerful way to do things. Macros is another great feature that allows you to have low first response time. So say I'm an agent, I'm in a shift, I'm working, questions are coming in like, where is my order? Other types of questions. Macros are pre-built responses, much like email templates, which hopefully people are using, which makes it easy to just respond really quickly. And you can inject as many data variables within those templates, like Shopify, order information, customer information, even like recharge, subscription information, which makes it really easy to not just have a templated email, but actually have meaningful data points that will be pulled from these various tools that you use. So you don't actually have to leave Gorgias ever. And that's a key takeaway, I should say. With Gorgias, you don't have to switch tabs, literally ever. And that's a big selling point. And then to take this to the next level on automation is we have rules. Rules are essentially, if something happens, if a customer says this, if a customer does that, then respond by this action. And this is all done in an automated way. And so a really easy example is order status, which, as I showed, takes up about 1/3 of your support volume. And so with our order status rules, which is just one of hundreds that a brand might use, the way this logic reads is when a ticket is created, so when a customer messages you, then if the message contains any of the following, where is my order, where is order, you can modify that to any way you'd like, then reply with the tracking number. So here's an example from the live chat. This is a customer. Hey, can you tell me where my order is? Our rules would detect that and it would respond, hey, Andreas, follow your order with this link. And the person would just click this link, boom, you're going to get all the information you need. So this is a really easy way to take automation to the next level. And this is a really easy way that brands are, shifting from a response time of say 12 hours down to say sub-hour, which is the goal. And then just to give you a real life example of a brand and just how impactful this low response time can be. We had a brand a few years ago, just after the BFCM season, where in a single day, they did a great job on social media, driving a ton of traffic to their website. And then they had their support team within Gorgias ready to engage via live chat. Basically picture a little sales agent at the bottom right of your screen saying, hey, I'm here if you need me to help you make a purchase. And then when they were getting a ton of inquiries through their live chat, they were able to deliver a 2-minute, 8-second first response time, which is phenomenal. Meaning they were getting back to customers who were engaging on their live chat, lightning quick. And then in that specific day, they had 500 pre-sale opportunities. They converted on 47% of those and generated $23,000 just from the live chat that day. And we track all of this really accurately. And so this was 2 years ago. Our product's gotten even better now. And I'm actually really excited to, for the first time, drop a brand new product feature that was just launched yesterday, which is going to make delivering and driving sales to your live chat even more powerful. Really excited to share this for the first time. So now within Gorgias, when you're talking to a customer, say through live chat, and they ask a question such as, hey, I'd like a red candy, but I can't find it. Now for the first time, you can actually click this little Shopify bag link here, and you can actually drop in any of the products that you have, right? So this is a massive feature, right? So before, you didn't have this capability. You could tell them about a product, right? And maybe you'd manually have to go to your website and then drop in a link, but now that's taken care of now. So now if you even sense that a customer is looking for a product, they ask for it specifically or indirectly. Now you can click on any of your products. It's directly linked to your inventory. So you're not going to drop in something that you don't have in stock. If you have multiple Shopify stores within Gorgias, you can select which store first, then click the product. And so this is going to have a massive boost on your pre-purchase conversions. This is one of the biggest releases we've done. And then what this looks like from the customer view is this, right? So you're saying, hey, I'd like a red candy. And then the support agent says, sure, here it is. And then they'll drop in the product card right in the chat, right? So this is insane. I can see Malavika is pretty excited about that. We are excited about that as well. I'm really excited to drop this live on the AutoMates webinar. So this is an exclusive product drop. Cool. So that's huge. That's going to really help you drive even more sales through the pre-purchase engagement. Let's power on through to tip number 3. This is a huge one. So capitalizing on your social media engagement, right? So as you start to develop your brand awareness, people are getting more excited. They follow you on Instagram and Facebook, TikTok and Twitter. They're going to start engaging with you. So they're going to comment on your posts. They're going to DM you. They're going to reply to your stories. And what we're finding brands miss out on an opportunity standpoint is their marketing teams does all this great campaigns and they get a lot of engagement and they wipe their hands clean and like, look, we did our job. We're getting a lot of engagement, right? But from our perspective, whoa, are you actually monetizing those engagements? It's one thing to create your brand awareness and create a community, but it's another thing to start monetizing those conversations, right? So what happens is a lot of your engagement on social media will actually be customers having pre-purchase questions like, hey, do you ship to Australia, for instance? Or you could have a customer saying, hey, I haven't heard anything back about my broken product. And the marketing team says, look, it's not our job to handle support inquiries, right? We're the marketing team. We just get engagement, right? And then brands are like, well, what do we do? So now you don't have to worry about that. We pull all of those communications in, whether it's through, you can see here, whether it's through email, Facebook Messenger, Twitter, Instagram, or live chat, SMS, phone. It doesn't matter to us. We're agnostic to channel. We just pull it all in anyway. We attach all the customer information. And so now all of your social media engagement is going to be pulled in and we can start to capitalize. And really what this equates to is anywhere between a 5 to 15% increase in your return on ad spend, right? And so this is a massive boost. And so here's an easy example of how this could work. So for instance, this is just an example Facebook thread. So a brand posted some content and they got a lot of engagement. Maybe this looks like your engagement. And what our machine learning is doing is it's detecting both it's detecting both positive and negative social sentiment. So someone saying need, let's get these. We'll detect that as a positive social sentiment with a high purchasing intent, and we'll tag the ticket and alert support agent saying, hey, look, there's a sales opportunity here. And then much in the same way, we can detect negative things. Obviously, you don't want negative, nasty comments persisting on your content. And here's an easy rule for this. When a ticket is created and say it's an Instagram comment and it contains a positive social sentiment, then tag it as a social lead, which means there's a good opportunity. So the support agent will get in there and try to drive a sale, right? And so this is an easy way to keep up with all of your engagement. All right, we'll wrap up here real quick. The last tip here is to map every channel, right? So as I said, we're omni-channel. I've kind of showed you that on the live chat, the Instagram, all the different social media channels. But really mapping every channel means all of the different tools that you might be using as a brand, whether you're using Omnisend, Yotpo, Klaviyo, etc. Those tools are providing you data as well. And so on the support side of things, you should be pulling in all of the customer data you're getting from all your disparate tools inside of Gorgias, essentially as a CRM, to make it really easy to handle post and pre-purchase inquiries. And so we make it really easy to do that. So here's a simplified view inside of Gorgias. You can see the customer information here. You can see all of the different tools that we might be integrated with. So Yotpo, you can see all the average ratings they're leaving, how many reviews they've left. If you're a subscription model, you can see all their recharge information. And so it's really important that all the information you might have a customer from other tools are being pulled in to enhance and enrich your customer profile. And so this is the last slide I'll show, which is this is an actual example of the different widgets or different information panels that we pull in for our customers, right? So, I want you to picture as a brand, you have obviously the Shopify order information that's being pulled in, you have their email, their address, but now start thinking about having this much information about your customers. So with Yotpo, how many points they have, how many reviews they've left, what specific reviews they've left, what's the products that they're most interested in, their topics of interest. With Klaviyo, all of the segments that they're a part of, any coupons that you've given them, recharge, all the subscriptions that they're on, loop returns, any ongoing return and exchanges, and then ShipBob, which we just launched an integration with. Now you have more deeper, more granular fulfillment information, right? So you couldn't have any more information about your customer, which makes it impossible to not deliver fast and personalized experiences, right? So we're enriching the customer profile, which allows you to monetize pre-purchase opportunities and deliver exceptional post-purchase support. I'll skip over the last two slides in the interest of time, but essentially, if you want to find out how you stack up against other brands in the space in a given category, just go to our website, go to the benchmarking tool, select your industry type, and you're going to basically see how you stack up with key metrics. So response time, resolution time, customer satisfaction score, and this will allow you to set a baseline. Okay, I'm maybe a little bit behind the 8 ball on these categories, and so I need to start thinking about how I can improve that. So I just wanted to highlight that for brands. With that, I just want to wrap up. Thanks to AutoMates and for Burc for having us. If you are interested in Gorgias, there's still plenty of time to check us out before the holidays. You just need to reach me at chris@gorgias.com and we can get you set up with 2 free months. And with that, I'll wrap it up.
Yeah, great stuff, Chris. Thanks a lot. And I was supposed to comment this very, very in the beginning. And you said people might have been fed up with your face and so on, and because it's second time, third time, I totally disagree with that, because the stuff that you have provided was really, really, I think, like fruitful and actionable. I actually just wrote down one bit from your copy. It was like, you shouldn't be doing this manually part. I think I can steal that away easily, like on all the actually content that we will provide today, because I think people are doing ridiculously like manual stuff still in today's internet, in today's e-commerce, and I think the parts that you have demonstrated are really, really actionable parts which can be automated. So as we started like 5 minutes late in a way, so we might maybe have a question from the audience other than Mario's WhatsApp question. You answered that already. By the way, you are doing my job in a way, Chris. I was supposed to catch that question the next day.
I know. I just saw it. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are really, really, into customer experience in a way. So that also reflects that up. So I think we have some questions from Christy and Vikas. Like who goes first? Yeah, type race. Yep, coming in.
I'm ready. Any questions?
Yeah. But do you maybe in the meantime, do you have any specific timeline for the WhatsApp launch? To expand on Mario's question.
Yeah, last I heard, it was going to be available in early December. So not in time for the BFCM, but so if you ever work with Facebook and getting access to their API, it's a little bit of a challenge. So it's taking us a little bit of time, but it's going to be ready soon. Twitter just launched. That was a big one. That was a really popular one as well.
Okay, here is Christy's question, so you can actually read it yourself if you like.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, great question, Christy. So Gorgias, because we were founded in France and now we support brands across over 100 countries. We also support over 100 different languages, right? So I believe Latvian is actually one of them. I'll have to double check, but you can actually just find out on our website. If you just Google like Gorgias language supported, you can find all the languages that we support there. And honestly, we're adding them so quickly. But I'd be surprised if we didn't satisfy the Latvian one. Can you custom translate? It's basically out of the box. So we're continuously adding new sets of languages that we support. It would be just the same and just as powerful as our native English, native French, for instance. But there is not the ability to like custom create a language that's supported.
Okay, cool. Latvian is supported then. Well, Chris, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your time. And you did well to share that you guys are also offering 2 months free if anyone would ever visit your website, want to test Gorgias out. I think regardless of this Black Friday, Cyber Monday thing, customer experience is always vital and always really crucial. So you can reach out to Chris anytime at chris@gorgias.com. And other than that, we can maybe move on to Valentin from Omniconvert session. Thank you, Chris.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Burc.
Have a great day. Bye-bye. So now we will have Valentin from Omniconvert. So I'm quite happy to have Valentin on board with me today because we guys share quite a lot, I believe. Hey, Valentin! Wow, what a setup, man! Come on! You rock the stage. How is everything in Romania?
It's all good here in Romania. We're performing at the number of COVID cases, but rather than that, we're doing fine. So
okay, cool. But you have a nice setup over there. So a few cameras.
I have a few cameras, and I'm playing with them because I proposed to double down on video this quarter because. I guess that's the new content creation.
Yeah. True. You did well. So pleasure to have you on board. Like last time, I think we couldn't have you with us, but there was Juliana from your team speaking. So today it's a pleasure to have you with us. So like one jokey kind of introduction for you guys is that we received your presentation for today, and it was I think 42 or 43 slides. And last time when we had Juliana, like I explicitly told her that it will need to be in 30 minutes. And she promised that she was going to make it, but I think it was like 50 minutes or so. So I hope you will do a better job than her. But without further ado, etc., I just leave you on stage. So please share your screen. Go ahead and get started, Valentin.
Sure. Just a second to make sure that I'm sharing what I should be sharing. Please confirm me if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can.
Perfection. So basically, the topic that I'm addressing today is how to win at Black Friday and Cyber Monday by using your existing customers. And before doing that, let me give you some context about my inner struggle when I was an e-commerce entrepreneur, and that happened like 15 years ago. Yeah, 15 years ago. Then, as you can see, that was my company and that was me. I guess most of the e-commerce entrepreneurs can relate to this image. I used to have so mainly my second kid arrived in the picture. I was struggling to nail the customer acquisition cost. My friends, which were working at some multinational companies, were laughing at me because I wasn't making it, even though we had something like 40 employees. So mainly that was my setup at that moment. And during this presentation, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you a few tips about my journey from not coping with the costs from Google Ads to actually leveraging our existing customers to make it happen. So that's my lifetime's value. And I'm going to talk a bit about customer lifetime value in this presentation. So my name is Valentin Radu, and as Burc already introduced me, I'm the CEO and founder at Omniconvert. I'm building companies since I was 21 years old in both B2B and B2C. I've had my share of losing and my share of winning. I've made 2 exits and I had the failure. Currently, I'm leading Omniconvert, which is helping e-commerce companies to become data-driven and customer-centric. And also, I'm an instructor and the founder at our Customer Value Optimization Academy, where we are teaching e-commerce people about nailing customer lifetime value and decreasing customer acquisition cost. But let's get into today's subject. The current landscape is that e-commerce is going strong. We are saying rest in peace to cookies because, and that means the zero and first party data is becoming vital. The ad costs are surging and there's a fierce competition in the agencies arena as well because agencies and e-commerce companies need to differentiate themselves. From 2020, the CPM is now at $16. I was having a chat with Dennis Yu last evening, and he said that now it's at 21. So it's clear that the CPM is growing dramatically, and Facebook and Google Ads are the ones that are the lucky winners in this arena. It was that saying actually that when everyone is digging for gold, you need to sell shovels. So let's focus at what's going on with the data from what we've discovered in the shops that we're working with. There's a type of customer that we call the soulmate. This is also the ICP or ideal customer profile. According to the data, one single ideal customer profile is generating as much margin as 376 low-value customers, which we call the breakups. And the idea is that it's not smart to focus on the breakups and to treat everyone the same. If you want to see more stats about what's going on in e-commerce, you can use this link. We have a publicly available benchmark that is updated based on the data that we are getting from 2,200 stores from different verticals and from different countries as well. So back in 2015, I was looking to identify our customers. So I was struggling because I've acquired everyone and every customer mattered, at least that was going on in my mind at that moment. But looking in the data and extracting the data around what's going on in my e-commerce, I've identified that there were 3 types of customers that were buying. At that moment, we were selling MTPL, motor third party liability. So in a nutshell, car insurance. And looking at the data, we've seen that 6% of the orders were coming from truck drivers, 12% of the orders were coming from expensive car drivers, and 82% from regular car drivers, Pareto. And we thought, okay, let's focus on no news here. But when we looked at the revenue as well, we've identified that 23% of the revenue was coming from the truck drivers, 31% from expensive car drivers, and 46%, only 46% was coming from regular car drivers. And when we look at the share of margin, surprise, only 32% of the revenue was coming from the regular car drivers, which meant only 18% of our customers were generating 68% of the total margin, because when we've subtracted the customer acquisition cost, so how much we've paid to acquire a truck driver, an expensive car driver, and a regular car driver to buy from us, that was the surprise. And so mainly these ideal customer profiles, so those ideal customers or the super consumers or the soulmates, how we call them, are like this goose over here. no matter how poor your customer experience or your user experience is, they still buy from you. And not only that they buy, they continuously buying from your store. And the idea is to leverage these existing customers and focusing on the right customers instead of acquiring all the customers that you can get. So we need to leverage our existing customers better. And in the next, I don't know, let's see, in the next 20 minutes, if Burc is not going to cut me off, I'm going to show you how to leverage your existing customers better. So the first thing that you should be doing for your store is to segment your customers by using RFM. RFM stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. So recency score, frequency score, and monetary value score. I'm not going to bombard you with data. I'm just going to state the fact that once you give scores to customers according to how recently they've bought from your store or how frequently they've bought, you will have an aha moment, because you will realize, like I did 15 years ago, about the distribution of the customer segments that you have. So mainly the idea is to make this happening, because you will see this type of anomalies, like the soulmates, which will get on a scale from 1 to 5. For a large shop, they will get 5, 5, 5. So that means the soulmates, even though there are not too many, they are the most profitable for you to acquire. Because as in this real example, 2% of the revenue is generated by the 2% of the customers generate almost 10% of the margin. Then you will have all sorts of customer segments, like the soulmates are active, they placed a lot of orders, and they have the highest customer lifetime value. But you also have customers like the ex-lovers. They used to buy from your store constantly. Yeah, they place more than, let's say, 5 orders, but their recency score is the lowest here, 1 out of 5, which means they haven't bought from your store for more than 1 year ago. So I'm playing with all this data, and I'm having a lot of fun, because I'm also a data geek. Like my side job is to analyze data. I haven't got rid of this behavior, even though now I'm more focused on improving the company. So mainly, what's going on with the RFM? Let's say you have a customer which is placing their first order, the new passion, let's say, right? So they are placing their first order, and that also places them among the best customers in terms of the monetary value. Yeah, they have the highest revenue. After 30 days have passed, out of 100 people which were in the new passions group, if they place 2 more orders, they will be the lovers, right? So they will get automatically the state of lover based on the RFM segmentation. 20%, if they place another order, they will become potential lovers. And if they they will not place any order, you will still keep them as the new passions. Those things are made automatically by software products such as ours, but there are more in the market. Of course, I'm a big supporter of our own technology, because we have this also expertise. This software was built out of my own struggle as an e-commerce entrepreneur. After 90 days, so after 90 days have passed, if those lovers will place 2 more orders, they will become what we call the soulmates, right? The best customers that you can get. If the potential lovers, so out of 20, 15 will place 1 more order, they will also become lovers. And if 10 out of the potential lovers will place no order, so they will not place any order, they will still keep the status as the potential lover. While if those new passions will not place another order, they will become not to lose, because these are very valuable customers that the company can't afford losing. So after 6 months, these labels are going to be automatically changed. Let's say out of the lovers, 1 will place another order. Out of the soulmates, they will keep placing another order. So things will change. But what is important over here is that after 6 months, the best customers that you used to have, the not to lose customers, 65 of them will become Don Juan. So the idea is to label them, to segment them, and then to give a relevant treatment on every channel to those customers, instead of bombarding them with the discounts that everyone are getting from your store. So the idea is to have a relevant experience with these customers, so that you can keep the ones that you want and disregard the ones that you don't want. All of these things are automatically calculated, as you could see here. Now, the second tip, after you've made the segmentation based on your existing customers, so you know how many there are in different groups, you can build lookalike audiences based on your best customers, based on your soulmates. So mainly you have the existing customers, and the idea is to improve the Facebook algorithm by pushing your best customers out there, but not only the best in terms of how much they've spent, but also how active they are, because you want to attract active customers, right? So mainly even Facebook is stating in their help center that if a source audience is made up of your best customer rather than all your customers, that could lead to better results. And the idea is to have at least 1,000 to 50,000 people in an audience such as this one. So how does it work? Your shop will build audiences based on the Soulmates RFM segments. You launch a lookalike campaign on Facebook. So mainly all of those things are doable thanks to the technology, ours, and I don't know other technology that are doing this. And then you push this type of data automatically to Facebook, which the algorithm is going to be, let's say, enhanced by the fact that they will be able to see the affinities between your soulmates, so that they are attracting other users such as your existing ones. And then they are directed to the website, where some of them are converted, some of them will become soulmates, and so on. And that's the virtuous cycle that you want to happen on your website. Then the next tip would be to reactivate the customers that have bought last Black Friday. So mainly you can build the audience only on the customers that bought at the last Black Friday, because that's clear they are attracted by your products, but only in when you have this type of heavy discount. So if your margin allows it, you can also reactivate this type of customers that have bought last Black Friday based on incentives that are relevant to them, because you can also, let's say, understand what they've bought using a technology such as ours. Going further, you can retarget the customers based on their purchase behavior. So what does it mean? So we are having this product optimization framework where you can divide customers into groups based on what type of products they've bought. So you get your best customers, and then they have A, B, C, D, E products, right? You look at 3 dimensions. What have they bought? So what's the share of revenue for each of the products in the total revenue of your shop? Then you look at what are they willing to recommend. So you look at the NPS by the product and what they have returned. You can look at the NPS or the customer review. That's totally fine. And then you look at the return rate. Are those products the ones that are also returned? So as you can see over here, we have a winner, not that is the most bought product, but is the most loved products, and they have a low return rate if you compare it with the other products. So the idea of your Black Friday campaign is to save time from your team with the returns, and to push products that actually customers will keep, because that's the whole idea. And you better believe it, like Kramer says, right? So once you will look at the data, you'll understand that you have these sorts of anomalies in your product assortment. You can do all of those things by hand, let's say manually, or you can use a technology such as Reveal to build this type of audience. Then the next idea that I have for you to leverage your existing customers is to use the wish list teaser, as I call it. So there's a research and a cognitive bias, which is named by the name of a lady, which was a researcher from Russia, called the Zeigarnik effect, right? Zeigarnik was her name. So what she noticed is that when she was at the restaurant, she was with other people around her, and the waiters got a lot of orders at the same time. And what she noticed is that this person, the waiter, had a fantastic memory when for the orders that were already placed. But once they've brought the order to all the customers, they completely forgot about it. So the idea is that people remembered unfinished or interrupted tasks better than the completed tasks. And what I'm stating here around the wish list campaign, you can do it next year if you don't have enough time right now. The idea is to use the Zeigarnik effect by making the customers have the buy-in on something which is really affordable for them. So there's no such a high investment as to buy the product. So mainly you, in the first part, the part of this campaign, you build a list of the customers you actually want, right? The soulmates, the lovers, the ex-lovers, the new passions, the ones that have a high customer lifetime value. Then in the second phase, you tease them and the new customers on the website with a wish list, giving them a special Black Friday offer only for what they choose in their wish list, right? So they add the products in their wish list, and there is no effort over here. It's a no-brainer. You can also add something like a contest. So I know about a company that has applied this technique based on a talk that I had 3 weeks ago. They had a tremendous success with that because they also added a contest as an incentive for them to use the wish list. Now, the problem with the opportunity of this, that you can also capture and decipher the product intel and have the know-how early on around what customers are actually wanting from your store. So what are the products that they do want to win in the contest or to buy at a special price in Black Friday. Then you launch the campaigns and capture orders 1 week or a few days before Black Friday, and you ship them in advance to also have less work to do with your team once you get a flood of orders in the Black Friday. So the idea is to get intel, attract customers, make sure that you are promoting the right products and so on. So mainly it's a very effective campaign if you think about it, because that means you're using time in your advantage. And next, the bonus idea to do the unboxing Black Friday campaign. So what does it mean? The best open rate, the best marketing campaign with the highest open rate on this planet is the unboxing campaign, right? Because everybody is actually opening up the boxes with what they are getting over there. So the idea is that you can use this Trojan horse, which is your box, by inserting things that will allow your existing customers to participate in Black Friday, and also you can put something for future purchases, because the most let's say the most effective order, right, the most valuable and profitable order is not the first one, because you've paid the customer acquisition cost and you have some margin on the first order, but the second order you don't pay the customer acquisition cost. So that's why you need to have as many people as possible buying the second time. So there are 7 reasons why you need to consider package inserts. First is that you respect the under promise and over deliver principle. So if you can add something that is appealing, like a hook for the future, then you surprise your customers. The second one, the package inserts are cost effective because you don't have to insert here, and we will see in a few minutes what you can insert over there. You don't have to pay so much on the insert. Then you can personalize the inserts only for specific RFM segments. So if you don't afford to pay to give everyone the same thing, like a bookmark sign, you can do this only for specific customers that are valuable to your company. Next, the cost of delivering the message has already been paid. You can do the cross sells that are highly relevant for you. And another thing is that the package inserts are a great way to get rid of products that don't sell. So if you have something in your inventory, you can consider giving them as a gift, so that you can acquire, you can get customers satisfied, more than satisfied, because they've got something that they haven't expected. And last but not the least, these effective inserts are increasing the customer lifetime value on autopilot. These are the 8 type of package inserts that you can consider. The thank you letters, a handwritten letter or something like that. Discount coupons for future purchases. These are undervalued, but many people are making these discounts, but they don't make it in real life, right? So they bombard them with emails and whatever, but they don't give them discounts that are, for instance, are expiring in 60 days or something like that. Other things would be the surprise gifts. It can be a book. I've received a book from a company that sold me this thing. It's a thing that allows me to focus. It's like a buzzer when I'm adding 6, 8, 10, 12 tabs in Google Chrome. It's buzzing me because I'm distracted, right? And they've sent me a book around how to better focus, how to be more effective. Product reviews invites could be another thing, product samples, a product catalog, or bookmarks. So these are the type of inserts that you can consider. And when you do this type of decision, I built this decision matrix to consider what type of package inserts. So you have here the cost, from high to low, and here is the usage from low to high. And the idea is to have, of course, low cost and high usage, right? So mainly there are bookmarks, wine openers, a watch, but it's too expensive. It's a high usage, but it's too expensive, maybe, depending on your AOV and customer lifetime value. You can give them a hat or a coaster or whatever. So you play with it and you identify, because the idea is to make something which is relevant for your company. The idea is that the lost customers are quiet in your meeting room. So maybe it's time to think outside the box and to understand how to change your strategy to acquire better customers instead of all the customers. And my gift for you in this session is I'm giving you access to Reveal. Connect me so that you can have an extended trial. The idea is that Reveal allows you to do segmentation on steroids. You can build lookalike audiences. You can build email that are orchestrated based on the customer segment that you have, and it's connected with the other tools to engage customers differently. Another gift from me is that you can get access to our free CVO course for the ones that are interested to improve customer lifetime value. We have here some students, hey Malavika. So we have already students that are interested in this, and they've had a good experience with it. So pretty much that's it. Thank you for your time. Connect me on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to support you in any way I can.
Hey, great job, Valentin. Thanks a lot for also finishing this just in time. Great presentation. People commented about you on the chat box. I don't know if you have seen, but Kostin said that Valentin is so smart. So I wanted to also agree on that. Like really insightful presentation. Thanks a lot. I mean, I think I really love how detailed you really break down things. I think that's really kind of a habit at your end. So like you said, if you are doing data analytics as a side job, I won't expect you to present anything on a high level, but more in depth. For example, even putting what you can place in an unboxing campaign in a diagram is, I think, really attention to detail. So thanks a lot for this, and thanks a lot for this presentation. So we have one question actually about this wish listing that you have explained. So would you mind telling the wish list software that was used by that company, asking Kostin?
Yeah, it's a default app from Shopify. I don't know exactly, but Kostin, if you connect me on LinkedIn, I'll love to give you the link.
Yeah, if you can also put the link in place, Valentin. And in the meantime, I also have a question, because I kind of know your software Reveal. We have launched our Shopify versions around the same time. We even, I even joined you guys when you launched this in Romania. It was a nice trip for me. So I have actually a specific question. So do you have hard-coded, let's say, rules for you to tag a user as a lover, I don't know, as ICP, or can people, can users customize those? For example, can they make the 60 days you said 90 days, or can they make like 2 purchases instead of 1, or are they coming, as a set parameters?
Yeah, you can. We have the default setting for that, but you can also define rules. So mainly for your shop, let's say if you are this is the link, by the way, for whoever asked me. So you can set rules automatically, but you can also do this on your own preference. So let's say if you are selling whiteys, right? Or if you're selling furniture, then your purchase cycle it's going to be way longer. But if you are selling foods or CPG or beauty products, then your RFMs should be different. And we are assisting usually all the e-commerce companies on defining, on setting the RFM segments.
Understood. Because I was just going to come to that point. All categories are not the same, so you have the default version, but you can also let people to set their own, I don't know, parameters, RFM metrics, and so on. Sounds great. Okay, let us wait for a few seconds if anyone ever types any other question, like other than this wishlist software, other than my question. And thanks for sharing the CVO Academy. I know how hard you guys have been working on that, like especially you. So I can really acknowledge that there's some solid material there. So if anyone ever is interested in customer value optimization, I think that's really the resource to go. And I really like you saying, Valentin, that there are other softwares doing this as well. So I really like the, how to say, notion-driven pitch in a way, rather than just pitching your own product, own sales. I mean, I really like the fact that you are actually emphasizing the importance of this aspect called customer value optimization. I think that's great. So I think we don't have any other questions for now, Valentin. I really thank you for your time. It was again pleasure to see your face in this nice camera setup, and look forward to having you once again. Thanks a lot.
That camera,
Yeah. Okay, man. Stay safe. So
you too. Bye. All the best.
Same. So now we have George Moser from Omnisend, manager of customer success team. Again, another participant of the previous AutoMates session. Can you hear me, George?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but we don't have your camera on, I guess.
No, I'm trying to get the camera to work here, and for some reason...
Sure. Let us see your nice face, man. No problem. We are just waiting.
Maybe wore a collared shirt today.
Okay, well, let's definitely do that then. Yeah, I mean, let's not lose that opportunity, definitely. I think George just lost connection, just maybe as he was actually preparing his video. But anyways, yeah, he is back. You there, George?
Yes, I am here. Sorry about that.
No problem. So do you need any help with the camera or something? Or
yeah, it doesn't seem to be recognizing it.
Well, it would be pity if you already had this colorful t-shirt, but what we can do is simply just trying, because you will anyways share your screen, you will go through your presentation, and maybe after your presentation we can try to put the camera on again during the Q&A part. Perfect. And we can try our chances again. So I'm just leaving the stage to you, so please go ahead, share your screen, and awesome. share us all the holiday tips you got.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, everyone. Well, thank you very much for the time today, and really excited to be a part of this series, and help educate everyone a little bit more about how to prepare for having a very successful holiday season. It's crazy. It just feels like Black Friday just happened a couple months ago last year, but here we are again, and really excited to speak with you. So my name's George Moser. I'm the manager of the customer success team in the U.S. here at Omnisend. I've been working here for just about a year and a half, but I've been working for e-commerce companies, primarily in digital marketing aspects and programs for about going on 9 years now. So have a lot of different experience, and looking forward to sharing some of that with you today. So first, today's agenda, the purpose here is, driving revenue through marketing automation. And at Omnisend, that's, what we do: email, push notifications, SMS, giving you the ability to do a lot of one-off campaigns, automated campaigns to just drive revenue and engagement. And today, I'm going to be talking about first why it's important to plan for the holidays and how you can go about doing that. Then strategies that you can implement on your own to come up with some new ways to, drive that revenue, and then open up the floor for a Q&A. So the first topic, planning for the holidays. So we all know that people are starting to shop, but I thought this would be a very good point to just really drive home in that, and this is actually from a bunch of studies that were done coming from 2020. It shows that really 31% of consumers have already started shopping for the holidays by the end of October, right? So we have 55% of consumers that have already started shopping before Thanksgiving. So, it's really important to first understand when people are shopping in order to first prepare for that. So even though it is coming towards the end of October, there still is time. This doesn't mean that people have stopped shopping. It's just showing that they have started at that point. But we are at a really great point now where we can start putting plans and actions in place to really drive that engagement and that revenue there. So the impact of planning ahead is very crucial, right? Having the ability to not only, come up with an idea of what you want to send in terms of maybe a campaign or an automation, but executing on that, right? Because it's one thing to plan the idea, but executing on it is another thing. And so what we're showing here, this was done by Litmus based on the holidays of a bunch of marketers last year in 2020, that 52% of teams who spend 2 weeks or more per message for holiday emails is what kind of the average was last year, which is pretty great. Like, spend time, really, get an idea of what you want to do, purpose that out there. And to drive that point even more, that you shouldn't just be waiting for the last minute to send an email and create an email, because nobody wants to do anything off the fly. Their seats. If you have time, be able to plan this out. Marketers who plan more than 1 month or less than ones that plan receive a 64% higher ROI. So not only is planning going to be important from an organizational standpoint, but it's also going to drive more revenue as well, because you have that time to plan things out, go through different versions that you get approvals on, different ideas on what to create for campaigns and automation. So very important to understand, how long it takes the email marketing community to, create an email for the holiday season, and what those effects can be for planning longer. Moving over next, so kind of the last component of planning is let's fully understand what the holiday season means to everyone, right? So it's not just Black Friday, Cyber Monday, New Year's Day that are a couple of holidays that we talk about for the holiday season. As you can see here, there's quite a few different holidays that can be effective in terms of what your business model is. Now, obviously, right, if you are selling Christmas ornaments, probably the end of Hanukkah, right, on December 6th may not be a date for you. So all of these aren't going to apply to everyone, but these are all great holidays to keep in mind for when you're planning, right? Green Monday is a really up-and-coming buying day, and a great opportunity to just share some aspects in terms of going green and giving some education to your customers along with just selling, right?
George, so
yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but audience is asking for you if you can just hit present in this section. So if you hit present, I think on the top right corner. No, while you're on the tab, I think it will put things into full screen. Yeah, I think this will be way better. Thanks a lot. Sorry to interrupt.
Of course, no problem. Right. So Small Business Saturday. That's a really big and up and coming buying day, not just of the holiday season, but of the year. So I personally I like to shop at small businesses. If I'm going to get a cup of coffee, for instance, I don't go to like a Starbucks or a Caribou Coffee. I like to go to a local place. I support local businesses that are smaller businesses. So, people do have affinities for those types of things. So make them aware of that. Leverage that as an opportunity to say, hey, we're a small business. We value you. Want you to know, that we're having a current sale for the holidays, something like that. So using this is going to be very, very powerful in planning things out. Now let's talk a little bit about some strategies that you can implement for the holidays, right? So first, let's talk about the navigation bar, right? It's the first thing that somebody sees in an email. And it being that first thing, it should really drive home some urgency, some clarity, and also making things clear and focused in terms of what you're trying to do. So switch it up to a holiday type of theme. If you have items, SKUs that can go for both men and women, maybe make a section there for holiday gifts for him or for her, holiday gifts in general that you may have this time of year. Stocking stuffers, right? Is a great little menu item that I see a lot of. Gift cards, or maybe gifts, at a price point, right? Anything that's $25 or under. Make things very accessible and easy for your customers to make that purchase, because the path to purchase, as we all know, to marketers, is very long. There can be a lot of friction in between. So the least amount of friction that we can provide and the more seamless of a journey we can create to get them to make that purchase, the more revenue we're going to get, the happier the customers are. Great use right there of just updating that navigation bar to see those results. Also, don't be shy. Show off all of the different value adds that you have, right? People, have the memory of a goldfish, right? And that's what I like to think of. So, maybe you've said that you do free shipping and it's on your website. Put it in an email where they see it, a couple of hours later. People tend to forget things. And this time of year, when inboxes are being flooded with messages from all sorts of people, the more value that you can add to separate yourselves from your competitors and to gain that attention of your consumers, the better off you're going to be. So things like free shipping, extended return policies is a big thing that's coming up. Price matching, satisfaction guaranteed. If you have the option to, if you have a brick and mortar store where somebody can pick up that item, or curbside, that's another value add. Same day pickup, or even something like free gift wrapping, right? So a value add doesn't necessarily have to always be something that you're giving up financially, like free shipping or a percentage off. It can be just other things as well. Gift wrapping, picking up at a store, right? So these are all just a few great examples here of some different value adds that you can use to just gain that engagement and attention. SMS and MMS as well. So, this channel, it generates a ton of revenue. It's great. However, it can be intruding at times. We all get these messages from marketers, that are unsolicited. Luckily for us, we're sending, messages to people that have opted in, but we want to also respect that. So make sure that when you're sending SMS or MMS campaigns, that they are driving home a point to get to make a purchase, not necessarily something for an informational base, because text messages can be more expensive than emails. They can be very, very costly. So make sure it's directly attributed to revenue. So some ideas that you can use for text messages is letting people know about a flash sale that's occurring, a coupon code that they have qualified for, or maybe that a sale is expiring soon. Let them know that maybe the sale that you have is extending outward. Anything that really drives them, gives that crisp CTA to go to the website, is what you really want to do, and stay away from things like informational messages, and, make things short, sweet, and concise in terms of these SMS and MMS messages. Another opportunity here, upselling in transactional messages. Transactional messages get some of the highest open and click rates of any type of email you can send out. So if we're seeing, like we see here, order confirmation and shipping confirmation, those messages combined see a 55% open rate and a 27% click rate. Let's leverage that as an opportunity to get more sales. We already know this person is an advocate of our brand. They've made a purchase, and repeat purchasers, right, customers spend more than first-time customers. So let's use that as an incentive. Hey, your order is out for delivery now. We'll love to see you back. Here's 20% off your next purchase. It's a really easy and strategic way to go about leveraging something that works really well with engagement and is not necessarily meant for driving revenue, but putting a revenue piece to that to, get things moving in the right direction for the holiday season. And then, lastly here, we want to talk about your dormant customers, right? 80% of your profits as a business, generally speaking, are going to come from 20% of your customers. So we want to make sure that your customer base is staying active. So let's find those people that have gone dormant for whatever reason, and let's come up with different ways that we can engage them, right? Because typically speaking, dormant customers, they take up to about 30% of your actual database. So things that we can do, because Omnisend is so great in terms of collecting data and allowing you different avenues to analyze it, leverage that information. If somebody's been dormant for 6 months, look at what their last purchase was, the last time they clicked on an email, get them engaged. Maybe somebody has been dormant since the holiday season last year. Create segments for your best-selling items last year, and all the people that haven't purchased, since then, or maybe within the last 6 months, and get them re-engaged. Get your brand top of mind again, because they're really going to drive a lot of your business. And this doesn't have to be on a campaign basis. For these dormant customers that we have, it's best to really use an automation, right? Let's create something that allows you to let the system work for you and re-engage them based on their actions. So no, they didn't click on an email in the first email. They didn't click it on the second email. Maybe in the third email, we offer some sort of free shipping or some sort of incentive to work to get them back to being an active and not a dormant customer. So just to kind of recap here, effective planning, it just leads to more revenue. Don't shy away from showing your value. We want to make sure that you stand out in the inbox, and that if you have value, always make sure that it's visible, it's clear, and you can never provide too much value there. Look at updating your navigation bar, changing the colors to be more holiday specific, or changing the sections in that navigation bar to reflect, certain items that you have that would make that path to purchase easier. Leverage other channels. SMS and MMS are going to be crucial in that because they have such a high conversion rate. Try using upsells in those transactional messages. And then also don't forget about your dormant customers. They will have a tendency to purchase. We got to get back at them. Leverage the data in Omnisend to create initiatives to get there. And since nobody can see my face, right? At least there's my picture right there.
Yeah, good one, George. Thanks for it. Yeah, it's a pity that we couldn't see your face, but yeah, nice uses
I'm
of
sorry
picture
about
here.
that.
No problem, man. Thanks a lot for all the materials. I think we have been really, I wouldn't say bombarded, but I really took down some notes on my phone, and I can also tell the audience that we will be definitely sharing the replay of this. So if they ever couldn't get all the notes that you have just shared. They can make sure that we will have the replay of this video to be sent to their email addresses. So as you said in the beginning, George, let's wait for a couple of minutes for the Q&A part.
Sure.
And in the meantime, maybe I might actually ask you some general question about your overall expectations on this year's Black Friday, Cyber Monday versus the last year's one, because last year we did have a different economic situation, and this year is again a different one. And I believe each and every year we will be going through different economic periods. So over at Omnisend, like from your perspective, what kind of differences do you expect this year in this year's holiday season?
I don't expect that many.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's going to vary depending on your business, right, and what you're selling. Maybe something like furniture. You may not be buying that online. You might be going into a store. But I was just reading an article the other day. Like it's looking nothing stopping from shopping online. In fact, the biggest holiday, the highest revenue that we're going to see this year from multiple projections that I've seen is going to be Cyber Monday. People are buying online. It's not going anywhere. I think people are still a little wary about, COVID and the state of that. So I really do think that e-commerce is still going upward in the right direction in a really big way.
Well, fortunately, yes, totally agreed. Yeah. So we have one question from Nick, who was also the person wanted you to actually share your screen in full. So I think we had some attention there. So the question is, what about if the SMS bounces back because of the format issues? I think this might be a technical question. I don't know. But yeah, do you have any idea?
Yeah, I'd have to know how it was formatted. Nick, if you want, you can send me an email and just detailing me a little bit more about that, and I can give you some answers there, unless you have some time to provide some additional clarity in the chat right here.
Yeah, I think we can ask for that. But do you encounter this quite often, like SMS is bouncing back? Because I think you spend way more on one SMS than you spend on email. So is this really an issue for merchants, for example, SMS bounces?
It's not normally an issue for us because we do we work on a cleaning service to make sure that there aren't any bounces in there. So normally before those get uploaded into the system, we do a scrub to see how those are.
Okay. Well, yeah, we just learned one nice feature of Omnisend thanks to this question. Okay, cool. Let us also wait for a few maybe seconds. Yeah, Christy is typing. So let's just wait for her to type. Yeah. First, yeah, time saving. Yeah. We will definitely hear your question. No worries, Christy. So by the way, as Christy is typing the question, we will have me right after George speaking. So I will just maybe a brief remaining section agenda. So I will be talking about dynamic pricing in about 5 minutes or so, and then afterwards I would really like you guys to stay on stage, because I think fulfillment might be the one of the most important subjects of today's AutoMates. So. Karley from ShipBob will be talking about holiday fulfillment mistakes. I think we will have a lot of troubles on that area, but at least avoid them as much as you can, hopefully after listening to Karley. So I will be just speaking in about 5 minutes or so, and then 30 minutes after me, Karley will be joining us from ShipBob to kind of cover everything up. So Christy is saying, my case is I'm selling some neighbor countries. Is there any difference between different country codes? Does Omnisend recognize them automatically? If this ever makes sense to you, George.
It does, yeah. And we actually have a really cool feature in our platform. So, let's say you have collected 10,000, phone numbers. What the system does, and let's say you want to, send an SMS message to all of them, we have kind of a calculator that automatically looks at that list within a matter of seconds. It breaks down what countries each country code is from, and then what the cost would be for that specific message being sent out to that person, and then collectively that whole, in this case, 10,000 phone numbers right there. So before any message is ever sent out, you know what countries they're going to and what that cost will actually be.
Okay, cool. Christy's typing further. If there will be any additions to that, we will cover that up. And if there are any other questions from the audience, please feel free to type. So we have maybe a minute or so for an additional question. If not, we will just, okay. Thanks for the answer. Also, I agree the same. Okay, George, I think we can be all done. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot for the presentation, and really hope to see you on again on another AutoMates session.
Absolutely. Really excited to be here. And again, sorry everyone that my computer video is not working.
We have seen your picture. No problem, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Stay safe. Stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. So as I just said, now it's my turn to actually take the stage. And we had like 3 guests before me who specifically spoken about. First, we had like Chris from Gorgias, who spoke about customer support automation. So if we break things down into domains, because that's how we really think in AutoMates. So Chris basically spoken about customer support automation via Gorgias. And then we had Valentin on stage, who really focused on, I would say, customer value optimization automation. I know this sounds like a word salad, but I think he managed to convince you guys that customer value optimization is a really solid alternative to really, paid acquisition tactics. That's, spoken about way more than the other way around. And then we just recently had George speaking about the importance of, using right emailing, right SMSing, tactics to really get something moving this Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And I think he was absolutely right with saying that the holiday shopping has already begun. So it's not necessarily such a thing that people all wait until Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and they start shopping. But instead, it really already started, or it's already starting even a few weeks before the holiday season, as we call it. So now I will be actually covering pricing automation if we again break things into domains, and I will be specifically talking about how to use dynamic pricing as part of this pricing automation thing. So I will be sharing my screen as all the other folks have done, and yep. So when we have it all set, we can get started. So today, like I said, I will be talking about how dynamic pricing can help you to boost your Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales. So again, this is not just the only way to increase your sales, boost your sales, but this is, I believe, oftentimes the neglected part of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday holiday, because people typically focus on bombarding their customer base with the offers they have in hand without the required emphasis on the offers themselves, really. And they typically think of, discounting their products, just setting up a price before the holiday seasons and marketing that onwards. But instead, we really try to encourage our merchants, our customers, to manage those prices even dynamically throughout the Black Friday, Cyber Monday period. So when things are hot, you can still adjust your discounts, adjust your prices. And this is actually a smart way to boost your Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales. So the agenda for today will be actually just sharing a few thoughts on what we expect from this year's holiday season. And as I just briefly asked George, what we really expect to be different this year. And after that, we will try to share as compact information as possible about the ways to adapt to market with dynamic pricing. And then afterwards, I will just be providing a quick recap. Hopefully, all this will be done as quick as possible in sort of 20 minutes or so. But like I said, after me, we will have Karley from ShipBob, who will be also sharing the final set of insights on fulfillment. So please please stay with us after my presentation is done, because people typically think that when I also do my bit and when I just finish things up, the event is over. No, I am both a speaker today and also the host of the event, but there's also another like thought leader expert who will be speaking after me, who is Karla from ShipBob, and after her speech, we will be concluding today's session. So let's dive in. So Black Friday and Cyber Monday is obviously, a quite popular like set of days. But I would say their importance, I mean, their actually impact on the industry has even, gone above its original level. So we actually expect a lot of changes in this year's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, because people started to spend way more than before online. So maybe their spending in real terms have declined, but when it comes to online, people started to spend double the amount they did otherwise on retail, for example, in online retail. The general spending sort of almost increased more than that. So like just George said before me, we really expect online to still be the king of this holiday season, also after the boost it got from the pandemics. So few statistics on that to really make sense. So for example, 36% of shoppers expect to shop with more brands this year. And I believe this is really a great opportunity to level the playing field for small businesses, because, you can really finally capture some attention and some revenue from those retail giants out there who are always capturing the biggest slices of the market. Maybe this will be still the case, so they will have the biggest slices. But what I'm trying to say is that shoppers are ready to help you to increase your pie, increase your market share this holiday season, because they are more open to shop from you guys. And also, interestingly, when asked to the consumer base of our clients, they somehow, maybe this is hard to fulfill expectation, but holiday shoppers really expect better deals this year than the previous year. And I think this will continuously happen the same each and every year. But yeah, this year, the deals should be better according to the holiday shoppers. And interestingly, almost 60% of consumers are planning to do the majority of their shopping online this holiday season. So we had all those, openings and stuff, so people started to also shop offline, but still 60% of holiday shopping will happen online. So keep these in mind. And I think the biggest paradigm shift that we have been seeing so far, in the last few months, and also this will have a solid consequences on the holiday season as well, as again, like Karley from ShipBob probably will be talking about. We have global supply chains disrupted across the world, by the way. So this is not something only applicable to the US, only applicable to the China, but both thanks to and unfortunately because of globalism we are living in, we are really going through some disruption, a shortage economy everywhere. Cost of transportation is increasing, cost of gas is increasing. So we expect a lot of inflation even just because of this disruption. So I think merchants should put the necessary emphasis on shipping and inventory management as much as they do for their campaigns, marketing campaigns, discounts, because I think it's fair to say that, unless you have something in stock, it makes no sense at all to really plan some campaigns around it. So I think the best way to really manage those campaigns is really making sure that you have the necessary inventory available. So you will be able to ship the stuff to your customers. So making sure that your campaigns will be fulfilled is crucial, especially this holiday season. And one other angle to that is also making sure and knowing that your competitors are also in the same situation. So they're also going through this shortage economy, disruption of fulfillment and so on. And you can also expect them to go out of stock for some of their products that they promote quite aggressively. So we think that some of your major competitors who are sort of retailing the very same product and trying to still grab some of your existing customers mind share will go out of stock for some of those products. So knowing that and being notified when they really go out of stock makes a lot of sense for you, because you can literally start pushing that product further, maybe just scrap the discounts that you have placed on that product, because you no longer compete on price for that product because that competitor has already gone out of stock. So you actually can fulfill the 100% of the existing demand because the other competitors won't be able to do that. So monitoring competitor stock information, stock availability information is, I think, one of the like most crucial things that you can do throughout all this season. Again, if you ever merge, if you ever link this information with your existing discounts, because like I said, if you ever notice a competitor going out of stock, this is a massive profit improvement opportunity for you. And as also George, like the guest just before me mentioned, we expect the holiday season to start way earlier, like this year. And also, I think this will be the same coming in the coming years or so, because I think this happens because of the habit of spending more online, because, you know, in online, you can just like literally buy anything, anytime you like. So you don't need to plan for a visit to a mall or something. So I think as the majority of the holiday season spending is converging through online, we also see that a period extension for the holiday season. So Black Friday, Cyber Monday typically starts early and even extends further towards the Christmas. So you should really expect some of your competitors pushing their promotions as early on as possible. So maybe like today, I don't know, tomorrow, this week, you might notice that some of your competitors are offering way better deals than you do now, and they might, again, grab that attention share from your existing customers. So make sure that you have the like competitive intelligence even before the holiday season. And freebie offers like goodies can be also a big draw for your customers, and you can actually again see what your competitors are also doing at that front, so to catch up as early on as possible instead of just waiting for the holiday season kicking in. I mean, planning ahead and actually offering whatever you would offer around that time earlier as possible might make sense. And also one important aspect is that there will be a huge number of online shoppers who will be maybe shopping for the first time online, looking for early discounts, and actually being present when they really go out there and look out for deals also makes a lot of sense. So just pulling things a little earlier than the otherwise like regular default time periods might also be a good opportunity for you to grab the revenue share, grab the attention of those first-time online shoppers. And also, needless to say, as the economics are not really doing super well across the world, you know, people are becoming more and more price sensitive. And, you know, this also is not just tied to, I think, economics, but again, online spending is typically more price sensitive because you have a lot of access to data. So, being price sensitive is not really a big deal online because you can really benchmark all the different offers really easily instead of just visiting, you know, different stores in a mall, instead of just, you know, walking across shops, etc. You can literally navigate tabs and see which merchant is actually selling the product at the best price. So we started to see the consumers becoming more like this. So they are really online shopping savvy. So you better make sure that you understand your customer and you understand which customers of yours are actually becoming more price sensitive. And also keep in mind that loyalty is dying in a way because of this fact, because, you know, if people are becoming more price sensitive, they're also quite more okay to live up your brand unless you offer really attractive deals. I mean, maybe they were, you know, quite loyal to you, even if you charge them a premium and they were totally okay to stick with you. But I think there's also a level to that premium nowadays. So people can really try new brands more often than before. So unless you really can keep them in hand with attractive prices, they won't really hesitate to leave you for another brand in the massive sea of market. So again, online holiday sales growth will be, as expected, huge also next year. So as George said, and as I agreed, you know, last year was a huge, let's say, boost because of COVID and because of like pandemics. And we expect even this to be built up this year. So we will have a bigger than the biggest holiday season, I think, this year. And after like picturing what we have in hand in terms of customer, in terms of market, in terms of all those like potential fulfillment challenges, I would obviously like to share you how to adapt to these conditions. So the first things first, like Valentin just mentioned, I mean, focusing on data, customer data, and spending data makes a lot of sense. So knowing like which customers of yours are more price sensitive makes a lot of sense at that end. So maybe just to share a quick case study that we have done with one of those customer data profiling tools out there. So we actually help them to identify and segment their existing customer base of an e-commerce company in two. And these two were like price sensitive customers and the others. And the way we did that was like labeling the customers depending on their conversion, if the product was in discount or not. So if, for example, a consumer has been repeatedly buying a product when and maybe if and only if this product is in discount, we started to label those customers as price sensitive ones. But if another customer was converting, buying regardless of the existence of a discount, we actually labeled them as maybe premium ones. So for example, when this merchant started to doing emailing about discounts, etc., we encouraged them to specify the audience as the price sensitive ones. Instead of pushing those discounts to the other segment of customers, as we call them premium ones, they just only focused on price sensitive ones with good conversion rate. But they also didn't leave a lot of money on the table because those other premium guys would convert anyways. So even if you tell them about discounts or not, they will still be buying from you. So why do you really need to push that to them? So really the key here is learning and understanding your customers better. And also other signals that you might actually catch and tell you something about your price competitiveness is that if you see a lot of traffic to a particular product but low conversion rate, for example, you might actually think that the price point of that product might be less attractive than other offers that this shopper is actually looking for, because again, like I said earlier, they are typically opening up tons of tabs on Google Chrome, and they actually just check out the very same product, and they actually add mostly like 60% of customers are simply adding the cheapest product into their cart and actually proceeding to checkout. So if you ever have a lot of traffic to a particular product to your website, but not converting as well as the others, this signals actually a situation where you don't really have that much of attractive prices. And also, even if you have high cart abandonment rates, this might be the same thing, because maybe people are taking things one step further and they are just hitting add to cart, and they just add the product into the cart. They see the final price, compare different final prices across different Google Chrome tabs, Firefox tabs, and only buy the cheapest, the most attractive one. So again, if you have low conversion rates, and if maybe better way to put it, if you started to experience decrease in conversion rates and also high cart abandonment rates, this might really signal that your prices is too high. And actually, you can optimize the prices for that specific product to generate even more sales by maybe offering a specific discount to that product and so on. So the key here again is to identify the right signals about your competitiveness. And the first part is really focusing on understanding your customers, and the other part is actually collecting the right data that might be signaling you high prices or bad prices. And the other part is obviously tied to landscape outside you. For example, the primary part was sort of like first party data, your own customers. But also pricing really depends a lot on the competitive landscape. So you really need to be competitive, and you need to gain continuous competitive advantage to actually be the one that really converts that traffic out of each and every tabs again on the internet browser. So also another aspect is that making sure that your products don't run out of stock that quickly. So like I said, I think this holiday season, one of the key strategies was actually maybe you should have done this already, but you should have planned for your inventory way before the holiday seasons, just because you will see increased demand. So make sure that you don't really run out of stock. And because this is actually bad for your store, because if you attract a traffic to your store, and if you just actually put a product page which is out of stock in front of a customer, that's really not the best experience that you can aim for. But again, looking this from another angle, this might be the case for your competitors. So they might run out of stock. And if you ever notice that they just went out of stock, you can actually use this as an opportunity to increase your prices further. So really being able to track the price and inventory data of your competitors is key like maybe 365 days of the year. But during the holiday seasons, when things are really changing a lot faster than usual, and when there are a lot of moving parts, it makes even more sense. And one thing that you can expect is that your competitors will also offer a lot of discounts, and they will actually eventually run out of stock, and you can increase your prices and so on. One other maybe last minute advice that I can share with you, I think this was something we discussed with another Shopify partner recently. So if you are a merchant and if you can really foresee that you will eventually also go out of stock throughout the holiday season, I don't really believe that you should offer discounts in a way, because if you will just sell out for an assortment at, let's say, $80 per unit, why don't you do the same, and why don't you just charge $100 for the same inventory level and still run out of stock? So if you ever believe that you will eventually run out of stock for an item, you may actually consider not discounting that product, offering that product at full price might be smart enough if you really have this stock availability concern issue in hand. And other thing is that, let's say you already set up your products and you already offered very competitive deals according to yourself. I mean, you might actually also underprice yourself from time to time. So we see this a lot here at Prisync. So we offer like competitive pricing intelligence to our customers, and when they typically get onboarded with us, they are typically afraid of falling into a race to the bottom, because we will help them to benchmark. We help them to benchmark their prices versus the competition, and they expect, like somehow by default, they expect that their prices will appear to be higher than the rest of the crew, and we will be forcing them to discount all together. But in most cases, the most important point where we provide the solid return on investment to our clients is that proving that for some products, they're actually way cheaper than the cheapest competitor. For example, in this case, there's actually a retailer charging £200, $200, whatever, for an inkjet, whereas the next cheapest competitor is at $240. So I don't see any reason why, if they ever increase this price to $230 dollars or whatever, and still get the very same sales volume from just being the like best offer in the market. So benchmarking your prices against the competition does not necessarily put you into a race to the bottom, but instead, such observations, such data can even help you to increase your prices in a smarter way, so that you can actually avoid leaving money on the table. For example, during the holiday season, if you ever follow the standard cost-based pricing strategy where you add, I don't know, 20%, if you are lucky, like 10% profit margin on top of your costs, and ignore the rest of the market, and then offer a discount, for example, from a product, you might actually underprice yourself, and you can actually find yourself in the very same situation like this retailer selling this product at $200 instead of $230. So also make sure that you are not underpricing your products during the holiday season, so that you don't leave money on the table. And like I said, the key part that I would like to emphasize in this AutoMates session, like next to the automation, I think we are really trying to encourage merchants to rely on data more and more. So implement your strategies according to the data, because again, like there are a lot of moving parts this holiday season, and also this will only be intensified. So I don't expect the market to die down, go slower and so on. I think online retail, e-commerce will grow and grow and grow, maybe forever. So you can expect your competitors in the very same mindset. So they will be trying out new tactics. Again, I'm trying to emphasize the moving parts here. And there will be a lot of changes in the market in regards to like prices, in regards to stock availabilities. So those days when you just set a discount before the holiday seasons and just spray and pray are long gone. So this is what I'm really trying to emphasize. So you should definitely be monitoring. You should definitely be on the competitive landscape throughout the holiday season, if not 365 days of the year. Because again, it's not like you set a list price for quarter, for the year, and then just spray and pray any longer. Your competitors are changing their prices quite often, way more often than before. And we also have a lot of inventory movements in today's landscape. So stock availabilities are also changing almost as frequent as prices nowadays. So the king of this game is honestly Amazon, and they change like almost 2.5 million price points a day. And they essentially do this by applying dynamic pricing. So they are not obviously, employing people who go into their Amazon admin and change the prices manually, but they essentially crunch all the data that they gather from the competitive landscape, from the internal data such as inventory level and so on. And it actually helps you to apply algorithmic price changes in an automated way. And essentially what we do at pricing is the same, but we are trying to level the playing field by giving Amazon's pricing prowess, pricing capabilities to all sides of e-commerce out there, like primarily at the beginning, now for Shopify merchants. So even if you are not Amazon, even if you don't have hundreds of engineers, even if you're a small, 10 people, 50 people Shopify or Shopify Plus store, you can today price like Amazon thanks to our technology. So this is what we are really working on and building for. And it actually depends on setting and adjusting your prices depending on multiple factors like stock changes, competitor prices, but also a lot of other different stuff. So essentially you build rules according to the competitive prices for the right set of products you want to have. And you can always set certain thresholds like maximum price change, minimum price change, and so on. And after the engine, for example, our engine collects all the competitor prices from the market in an automated way. It then runs these rules automatically for you. And as it's, for example, connected to your e-commerce storefront like Magento, Shopify, blah, 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 it automatically changes your prices like Amazon does on its storefront. So this is as easy really as it sounds. And actually, it can help you in multiple ways. So it can obviously increase your gross profit. It can also help you with the top line growth. So it can improve your revenue. But also it can help you to improve experience, like customer experience, and as a result of that, loyalty. So you can really start to generate more traffic to your store, and also it won't cause any kind of cannibalization in your store. And two quick applicable recommendations for this holiday season is actually using loss leaders and inventory-based pricing. So loss leaders are actually a rather, I would say, controversial strategy being applied in retail. So if you have certain products in your assortment which are really popular in the global market, global e-commerce market, and mostly sought after by price-sensitive customers when there's a deal, you can actually utilize this set of products as a traffic generator, and you can actually make crazy discounts on this specific product to generate additional traffic to your store, which can then be upsold by other more profitable items. So I know that this might be rather risky unless you can have the upselling capability, upselling opportunity. So that's why we really recommend our merchants to test this out with a set of products. So just pick one product to be the loss leader, promote this as aggressively as possible, drive the traffic, but also next to this loss leader, make sure that you are co-selling, upselling some other products in your assortment. If at the end of the day, you have a positive bottom line and positive top line, this strategy can work for you. So you can obviously, and maybe you should obviously test this out before really ramping things up during holiday season. So maybe a few weeks before holiday season, like maybe now, you can run a Facebook marketing campaign for a particular product. You can drive a lot of traffic to that product and see whether you can convert your merchants for other products. The other one is way less controversial, and actually it's quite smart. So you can actually adjust your prices depending on your availability and your competitor's availability. Because like I said, if a competitor is actually out of stock for a product, it means that your target customers won't be able to buy that product from that competitor. So their options will be tightened. So you can actually have the chance to charge the full price. I mean, I'm not really telling you to, surge your prices, increase your prices aggressively. Instead, you can actually get rid of those discounts and you can start charging like full prices. So maybe just to wrap up and sharing more tips, like I said, dynamic pricing is the new way of pricing instead of traditional flat pricing. And also, if you ever drive a lot of traffic via loss leader strategy, you can also make sure that you can reconvert that traffic with retargeting campaigns. And also, one last emphasis on inventory management. make sure that you also manage your inventory as much as you manage your prices throughout the holiday season. So all in all, the key insights that I would like to recap today is analyzing your customers' shopping patterns, competitors' prices and inventory, and also not just sticking for the same prices for too long and changing them like way more frequently than before, adapting them on the changing market conditions, and also adapting to this rule-based dynamic pricing engine to really make most profit out of this holiday season. So thanks a lot for listening, and I wish you the best holiday season ever. If you would like to learn more about our technology, our SaaS, or me, this is our website, this is my email address, and feel free to follow me on Twitter, where I'm called e-commerce pricing guy. Thanks a lot for listening. Watching out for your questions. So I think we have one in the chat box from Amy. Let me stop sharing my screen at this stage. Does pricing also track competitors' deals in the holiday season? Yeah, absolutely. We do this 4 times a day, every single day. So you can expect us to repeat the same, and we obviously do this automatically. So we will be continuously monitoring your competitors' prices, but also stock availabilities also throughout the holiday season. And I believe there will be a lot of changes in those data points throughout the holiday season. And I expect our merchants, our customers are even changing their game plan throughout the holiday season this year, because it will be way more extended. Just like I said, around the presentation. Thanks for the question, Amy. Does pricing? Yeah, price advice. Actually, not necessarily at this stage for the right profit margin you should be aiming for, or the right competitive position. So we currently rely on the rules that you can set and test, and we can actually automatically apply those rules instead of you actually using Excel files and stuff. But the next step of our journey is literally doing what you just asked for, Christy. So adapting AI and actually helping our merchants to automatically change their prices according to the rules set by our own engine. So we will be actually deciding on the utmost right profit margin for a set of products. And then we will be actually writing down your own pricing rules and adjusting your price on the fly. So stay tuned about our product development. But at this stage, really practically speaking, we offer rule-based repricing, which will hopefully improve towards an AI-based engine, which will really offer you price advices. Okay, I hope I could have made myself clear. So let's watch out for another question if we have some. And unless we have, like I said, we are not finished yet. So we have one last presentation from Karley of ShipBob, who will be talking about the 7 biggest holiday fulfillment mistakes. Maybe just after Amy's question. Is it possible to track discounts applied on carts? Yes, we do, actually. Hi, Karley, just answering the last question. Yeah, we actually can mimic the user behavior and see what the user sees on the cart and actually collect that price information and benchmark on that. So yeah, that's doable. We have also one last comment or question from Gina just before we move on to Karley's presentation. Yeah, I think Gina is from ShipBob. Yeah, I know Gina. So I agree with Gina. So who go Karley? So the stage is yours. I already made quite a few introductions for you because I am super excited about what you will share. Because all the merchants that I'm talking to nowadays are talking about fulfillment challenges, stock availabilities and so on. So we are all ears listening to your presentation. Please take over the stage and share your screen and go ahead.
Perfect. Yeah, let me just go ahead and share my screen. And if you can just let me know verbally that you can see my screen, I'm not going to be able to see anyone.
I will be here helping you at all times. No worries.
And then if anyone has any questions, I do have my colleague Gina in the chat that she will do her best to answer them as they come in.
Awesome.
So give me 1 second here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Can you see my screen?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. So my name is Karley Daudell. I am on the partnerships team at ShipBob. I've been with the company for 4 years, so know a lot about e-commerce and know a lot about logistics. So like I said, super excited to be chatting with everyone today. I'm going to be talking about automating your Q4 logistics by using distributed inventory. So let's get into it. So I want to give you guys high-level background about ShipBob. ShipBob is a global logistics platform that fulfills e-commerce orders for direct-to-consumer brands. We have about 30 global fulfillment centers. We allow our merchants to have custom packaging, gift notes, and inserts. We are a carbon neutral fulfillment company, and we do have B2B capabilities as well as, D2C capabilities. We offer 100% coverage for 2-day delivery across the US. We have 30 direct integrations, and we are in US, Canada, London, Ireland, and Australia. So what is a 3PL? A 3PL is basically an outsourced service that manages a brand's inventory and order fulfillment operations. So a 3PL really works with an e-commerce brand to store their physical inventory, pick inventory, as orders come in, of course, package it, do carrier handoffs to, UPS, DHL, FedEx, and then, of course, 3PLs will help with that returns management, right? So when someone says, hey, I need to exchange this for a different size, or, I'm not super satisfied with this product, you have to then send the inventory back to the 3PL. The 3PL will manage that inventory. They'll assess that return and then put it back into your inventory stock and then give updated reports on that inventory. So a 3PL just basically manage all of your orders that come in as well as physical inventory. So how does it all work? So with ShipBob, we directly integrate with all the major e-commerce platforms. So think Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, eBay, Amazon, Etsy, ShipStation. And so we'll integrate with your e-commerce platform. And then as orders are placed on your site, we have your actual physical inventory in one of our warehouses or multiple warehouses. And then we pick, pack, and ship that physical inventory off to your end customer. And then we, of course, push tracking back to the e-commerce platform. So you can send that email notification out that says, your order's been shipped. Essentially, you can think of us as, the Amazon for e-commerce brands. We're trying to achieve what Amazon does for e-commerce brands. So my number one tip for automation is distributing your inventory. So what does that mean? So it's the operational strategy of splitting inventory across multiple fulfillment centers to get products to the customer faster and more affordably, especially during Q4. So I think a lot of times when you say, send your inventory across, the entire US, that sounds really scary for a brand, right? So I always tell merchants to find a 3PL that has multiple warehouses. So you're not having to work with a bunch of different 3PLs. You have it all centralized under one 3PL, which is going to make it way easier to distribute your inventory. So how it works with ShipBob is you can send your inventory to one of our fulfillment centers and we can distribute it out for you. We can also take a look if you're able to send us at least, 3 months of historical orders with zip codes. We can just tell you based off of your order history where you should split your inventory to achieve 2-day shipping, which later in this presentation, I'm going to get into why 2-day shipping is so important and why as an e-commerce brand, you honestly need to offer it. So I know I'm talking to a global audience. So I definitely want to make sure I'm talking about not just splitting your inventory in the US, but also distributing it globally. So whether, you're a US brand and you have orders going out internationally, or you're an international brand and you're breaking into the US market. So having a 3PL that has multiple, location, it obviously is going to reduce carrier costs and transit times, right? If you're a brand and you're doing really well in, let's say, the Australian market and the US market, and Canada, you want to make sure that you have actual physical inventory in those regions, because you want to make sure that your shipping experience is the same no matter where they are ordering from. And then it helps prevent custom fees and import taxes. No one likes those. And then it reduces cart abandonment. If you're not offering, international shipping, it's obviously going to, have you're obviously going to see that cart abandonment when shoppers that are international want to buy your inventory or make an order on your site. And then it enables expansion with lower costs and less operational complexities. So if you're going global, you want to make sure that you're distributing your inventory and having physical inventory in those locations. So fast, reliable shipping. So thanks to distributed inventory, merchants can use ground shipping services to offer 2-day delivery for less money than expedited shipping. So when you're distributing your inventory to, let's just say, like 3 fulfillment centers, you're not having to use those premium services like air shipping, because all of your orders will get to the end customer using ground shipping. So obviously you're not having, like I said, to use those premium 2-day, air freight services. And then how it works with ShipBob is we have partnerships with all the major carriers, and we get discounted rates from those major carriers as well. And so we pass off our discounts to our end customers. And then as orders come in, we will go ahead and say, okay, what's the shipping option? What's the carrier that's going to get it there the fastest and the most affordable? And we will ship it out via that carrier. So I know I've been talking a lot about distributing your inventory and achieving 2-day, but I really want to talk about why 2-day is so important. And I always like to start with this stat. 67% of shoppers expect 2-day delivery. So I think that's just, Amazon has really trained us to think that we need everything in 2 days or less. So 2-day encourages repeat purchases by meeting expectations with fast and on-time delivery, converts more shoppers by offering 2-day shipping to reduce cart abandonment. If you're anything like me, I wait till the last minute to order any sort of gift. So I'm always looking for affordable 2-day options. And then, of course, it entices shoppers to spend more to unlock free 2-day shipping by using spend thresholds greater than your AOV. And really, this is something I would say majority of our merchants do, is they say spend $100 and unlock free 2-day shipping. So distributing your inventory across multiple fulfillment centers is actually no longer a requirement for 2-day eligibility. With ShipBob, if you're not ready to, distribute your inventory, you can use just one of our fulfillment centers. And with our robust integrations, let's say you have your inventory in, Chicago, Illinois. It's super central in the US. And essentially, it covers a wide range of, shipping zones. And so if a merchant is ordering and we know we can get it there in 2 days or less, that 2-day eligibility will populate at their checkout. And then, so to get into it a little bit more, I want to define what shipping zones are. So they're what the postal carriers identify as how long an order takes to get from one destination to another. So from your fulfillment center to your end customer. So example number one fulfillment center. This is a merchant using our LA facility. And you can see that, they have pretty good coverage of the West Coast. But when you get to the East Coast, that's about, 6+ business days of shipping versus when they have 3 fulfillment centers. So it looks like California, Texas, and right outside of New York, basically purple is eliminated, which means orders are getting to their customers in about 2 to 3 days, which obviously is much better than 5 to 7 business days. And then I want to talk about what a WMS is, which is a warehouse management system. And really what that is, it's ShipBob's dashboard. And what you get with that is you get visibility into all of your inventory, whether, you have inventory in Chicago, LA, Dallas, Texas, New York, Australia. You can see all of your inventory in one place. We also have dynamic connections to local carriers in all of those regions to get you that discounted shipping rates. And then we offer customization at scale, which basically means we offer things like gift notes. When a merchant checks out and they want to say, hey, happy birthday, hope you love this, like thinking about you, something like that, we can definitely offer, as well as things like custom packaging. And then one thing I always like to point out is you want to make sure your 3PL is able to connect with your tech stack. So making sure it connects to your returns management platform, making sure it connects to your customer support tool like your Gorgias, and definitely making sure it connects to your e-commerce platform like that Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, and Amazon store. So I always like to end with a customer quote. So this is one of our customers, Blacklaw. They use our US, Canada, EU, and UK fulfillment centers. And essentially in this quote, they just talk about how it's super easy to distribute their inventory and have it in one centralized location, and they have visibility into it via their ShipBob dashboard. So I want to leave you guys with some quick holiday tips. So tip number one, make sure to secure a 3PL. A lot of 3PLs are going to have cutoff times where they're not accepting any new merchants. However, ShipBob does not. Make sure you're forecasting for demand, make sure you're stocked up on inventory for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Make sure you have competitive shipping options. Make sure you have, affordable 2-day shipping. Make sure, you have free shipping as well for standard ground orders. Make sure you're distributing your inventory to achieve those shipping options. Make sure you're confident in your WMS and have an unboxing experience. Make sure to have samples and inserts and custom boxes to really drive that loyalty, to make sure your customers come back to you after the holidays. And then I want to talk about the special offer that ShipBob is offering. So it's $1,000 in free shipping credits. And if you want to take advantage of this offer, you just have to make sure you qualify by going to shipbob.com/automates. And then I do have my email, and I will put it in the chat for anyone that wants to chat about logistics. I know Q4 is going to be crazy this year. So please feel free to use me as a resource. So thank you guys again for having me.
Great. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for sharing all those, Karley. So pleasure to listen to you. And yeah, I think it had been a nice recap on top of all we guys sort of like explained. So because we all spoke about, convincing people to buy something from them, and you guys actually sort of finalize the session by really making sure that those packages will be delivered. Let us wait just for a few minutes or seconds, maybe, for any questions. I think Amy has one, so let's wait for Amy to type the question, and then And if you guys also have any other questions, by the way, please feel free to use the chat box. Yeah, there is this question from Amy. If you can read it.
Yeah. So Amy, what's the minimum order requirement? I have a new Shopify store. Can I also use ShipBob? Yeah. So ShipBob actually doesn't have any order minimums. We can work with brands that are, in the new and emerging business space like yourself. And then of course we have brands that, are shipping tens of thousands shipments out a month. So here, I will share my email with you in the chat, and just follow up with me after this session, and I can get you all set up.
By also using this $1,000 credit, hopefully.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Holidays
going to be crazy this year, so
yeah. we all are waiting for it. So are there any questions, guys? So maybe it's time to wrap up things. So I would like to thank, first of all, Karley, and also all the other great speakers like George, Valentin, and Chris, and also myself, maybe, for attending today. I think we might also have one last question from Christy, but still let me recap things. thanks a lot for joining us, and I hope this event was really as actionable for you as as you anticipated and as you just spent some time on. Make sure that we will be sharing the recording like after today, so probably like sometime this week. Our team will be working on the editing and stuff, and you will have access to the recording of the event. And you can also expect this crew, like the AutoMates, to have similar events, probably like potentially in the coming months or quarters or so, again with the other teams. So yeah, Christy doesn't have a question, but yeah, she just had a comment. Thanks, Christy. So yeah, thank you, Karley. Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure to be with you. Stay safe. Take care.